I'm a DoorDash driver, so I would admit responsibility, but I'm not going to plead guilty. Respectfully disagree.
You are using the roads that belong to the people of the state of Michigan to make a living.
No, wait, I don't think you understand. I think there's confusion.
I understand. I accept the responsibility.
What does it mean when you accept responsibility but want to deny the consequences?
Doesn't make sense.
Most people who walk into a courtroom believe they can explain their way out of a situation, especially when they feel like what they did makes sense. But courtrooms don't work that way. They focus on whether the law was followed, and once that line is crossed, explanations carry very little weight. In the 44th District Court in Royal Oak, Michigan, Magistrate Donald Chisholm sees this pattern regularly. Different defendants come in with different explanations, but the issue is often the same. What actually happened isn't really the focus anymore. It becomes about trying to justify it, and that usually doesn't change the outcome. The first case involves Eric White, a DoorDash delivery driver cited for using a mobile device while driving. Instead of denying it, he tries to explain why the law should be applied differently in his situation. What follows is a back and forth where the focus shifts away from the violation and into personal justification, and that is where things begin to fall apart.
This is 25 RO 07768. This is a citation that was issued on the 6th day of December, just about 8 o'clock in the evening in the area of Royal Oak near Woodward Avenue and 4th Street. You were cited for operating while using a mobile electronic device. You've got three options this morning. You can admit or deny responsibility, or you can admit responsibility with an explanation. How do you wish to proceed?
Given the case,
I asked you a question, sir. Are you admitting or denying responsibility?
Right, the latter. So I'm a DoorDash driver, so I would admit responsibility, but I'm not going to plead guilty because it's a specification. I was working when I got pulled over. I'm a DoorDash delivery driver.
First of all, you can't plead guilty to a civil infraction. You're not guilty or innocent of a civil infraction. You're responsible or not responsible for a civil infraction. Civil infractions have no intent to do evil the way crimes do have an intent to do evil. So you're admitting responsibility for this because it happened, correct?
Well, can you go over the latter part of what you said? Not the first one, but the second, how you phrased it?
Civil infractions have no element of an intent to do anything evil. Crimes have an intent to do evil. Civil infractions are not crimes.
Okay, so in layman's terms, how I want to plead is I do not feel that I should have to pay this fine.
What do your feelings have to do with anything? We're talking about facts.
Well, yeah, Your Honor, if I'm allowed to plead the case, right, I do not agree that I would have to pay the fine.
It's not the way the systems work, but we'll have a hearing. Please raise your right hand to be sworn so we can have a hearing. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
I do.
Yeah, I do.
The officer will testify first, please.
You're on the listed date and time. I was following next to the silver Chevy Cruze that Mr. White was operating. I witnessed him having his cell phone in his right hand while operating, having his GPS open. At that time, he admitted to me that he was using his GPS for DoorDashing purposes.
Thank you. Mr. White?
Yeah, so, yep, I was all the way over in the right lane, and I was doing DoorDash. I was working as she pulled me over. And the way DoorDash works is I get deliveries sent to me by DoorDash. So it is actually more unsafe for me to have my phone on the dashboard holder like the officer or like the law in Michigan recommends. Because if my phone is on the dashboard holder, then I have to lean forward and switch between the GPS and my work app.
Mr. White, you've decided that it's safer for you to violate the law than it is for you to comply with the law.
Well, I think what we have here is kind of an outlier situation. I'm a DoorDash delivery driver.
I'm holding it against
it's
you.
not well, right, but it's not like she's sitting here pulling over, a regular citizen just going about their day and going back home. I have to sit here.
What's irregular about you?
Well, DoorDash sends me hundreds of delivery offers every day. So I am getting delivery offers sent to my phone every 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay. What does that got to do with the rules of the road?
Because it is safer for me to not lean forward. If my phone is in my hand and under in my hand and not on the dashboard holder, it is safer because I am able to work through my deliveries in my GPS quicker and easier.
Well, maybe you should contact the state legislature and tell them that even though they've decided that it is unsafe for people to use their phones in their hands while they're driving, because you're special, they should just say that law applies to everybody in the state except
I think
your own right.
Your Honor, I think you're misunderstanding me. Okay.
I don't think I am at all.
Well, first off, Your Honor, I am working, and so you're not. The law is not able to sit here and treat me like I'm not working because I am working.
It doesn't matter if you're working or not.
It does matter. That does matter. That absolutely matters.
It doesn't matter at all.
I respectfully disagree.
You are using the roads that belong to the people of the state of Michigan to make a living. You're using the roads.
Right.
Other people have to buy an office. Other people have to buy insurance. Other people have to buy building insurance.
Yes.
Other people have to buy stuff. But
Your Honor,
you're using the property of the government.
DoorDash is $1 billion company.
Well, then you can afford to pay the $220 fine.
No, DoorDash is $1 billion company.
Mr. White, your position is totally without merit in either fact or law. You violated this law of the state of Michigan. The consequences for that is not even involving points. It's just a fine. It's $220. It needs to be paid. You can pay it online, by mail, or at the courthouse counter. This hearing is over.
In the end, the explanation didn't change anything. The law was clear, and trying to work around it only made the situation worse, especially when the argument shifted into things like working for $1 billion company, as if that somehow changes how the law applies. Because once you move away from the facts and start relying on personal reasoning, the argument starts to fall apart pretty quickly. And in the next case, that's exactly what happens. This time, it's not about trying to justify the behavior. It's about trying to explain it in a way that never quite lines up. The more it's explained, the less clear it becomes. And eventually, it all comes down to one simple question that never really gets answered the way it needs to be.
This is citation 26BE00766. You were cited on the 9th of February for driving on expired plates. When did you get the new plates or tabs?
The issue was it was a garage plate for my business, but someone had stolen a plate and I reported the wrong plate number. So the registration was still good. I guess I reported the wrong plate number. So I do have another plate that's registered, that's not expired. And I tried to go to Secretary of State yesterday to get the car, I guess just turned it to the business name. But they kind of gave me an issue because of the way the title was filled out. So I have to go back Monday. But I still do have an up-to-date registration.
On what?
For the in-transit plate.
Is there a valid plate on the car that you were driving when you were stopped today?
Today?
Today, is there a valid plate on that car?
Yes.
When did you get that plate?
I got it a while ago.
That's not the kind of answer I'm requesting, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking.
What's the date? When did you get it?
They expire on the 31st of this month.
Well, this is the third time I'm going to ask you the question. When were the plates issued?
Last year.
So there's no doubt about the fact that when you were stopped, the plates weren't good, correct?
Correct. I'm confused. I mean, which
fine on that is $130.
No, wait. I don't think you're understanding. I think there's confusion.
No,
I think you're confused. No, I'm confused.
I know you are.
Yes.
No doubt about that at all.
I have multiple in transit plates. Is what I'm trying to say. I have multiple in transit plates.
When you were stopped wasn't valid. Correct. The fine for that is $130.
But I have one on there now. I got to re-register. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that didn't change the fact that it wasn't registered.
I did it. It was registered. If you look at the ticket, it said it was registered, but I canceled the wrong plate number. Is what I'm saying. It was an accident on my behalf. It was a clerical error. So I threw that plate out because it was canceled. I canceled the wrong one. Because when you look at the registration, it was still valid.
No, it wasn't. You canceled it.
Okay.
We're done.
In the end, it came down to a simple point that never really changed. At the time of the stop, the plate on the vehicle wasn't valid, and no amount of explaining about other plates, cancellations, or clerical errors changed that fact. And once that was clear, the rest of the explanation stopped mattering. In the next case, the situation shifts, but the problem becomes more direct, because it's no longer about confusion but about admitting what happened and still trying to argue around the consequences. And once that contradiction is clear, There isn't much left to argue.
Okay, your ticket is 26 R 00334. Ticket was issued on January 17th, about 10 o'clock in the evening, in the area of Royal Oak near Stevenson Highway and 11 Mile Road. You were cited for impeding instead of being ticketed for making a prohibited turn on a red light. Impeding doesn't carry points. The prohibited turn would carry Secretary of State points. So the officer exercised her discretion in your favor at the scene and gave you a ticket for impeding instead of the prohibited turn. You can accept the break the officer gave you at the scene, or you can deny responsibility and there'll be a hearing. How do you wish to proceed?
I want to, yes, I did make this mistake, so I do take responsibility, but I would like to ask for a hearing, I guess.
We're here. You scheduled a hearing. We're here for the hearing.
Okay. See, Your Honor.
But if you have a hearing and the hearing, if the proofs at the hearing show that you made an illegal turn, the ticket can be amended to the turn, and that would carry Secretary of State points. And instead of that, the officer gave you a break and cited you for impeding, which does not carry Secretary of State points. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I haven't heard yet, except from you. So do you want the hearing or not?
Yes, I want the hearing.
You did it, but you're denying responsibility for what you've done. Officer Link?
You're on the listed date and time. I was observing the intersection of 12 Mile and Stevenson Highway, 4 vehicles that were disobeying the posted no turn on red. I observed the vehicle stop behind the stop bar, then proceed through the right-hand turn on the posted no turn on red.
The defendant stopped at the red light and then made the prohibited right turn.
Yes.
Mr. Akwarawi, it's your turn, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, that is very true. I was coming off the highway and making sure that there's no cars are on my right side. And I didn't really see this sign. I believe the officer, first of all, the officer was very professional and kind. So no issues with that at all. But as I stopped and proceeded to make a right turn, honestly, maybe I did not see that sign, and I think she might have mentioned something like that.
What would it matter if you saw the sign or not, sir?
Yes, it's true. It's true.
So
I do accept.
Why would that matter, that you didn't see it? If the speed limit is 70 miles an hour on the expressway, and somebody says, I didn't see the sign, the rules are still 70 miles an hour on the expressway.
No, the sign for the no turn on red. That's what I mean.
I understand that, but a sign was there that you acknowledged was there.
Yeah.
But you didn't see it. But your job is to see it.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Your Honor, all I have to say just one thing, I have a clean driving record, and this is my first violation. I understand, I accept the responsibility, but I respectfully ask if the court would consider leniency or...
What does it mean when you accept responsibility but want to deny the consequences? How can you accept responsibility and deny consequences?
Yes, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And the officer gave you a break. Your record is still going to look just as good tomorrow as it looked yesterday. Impeding does not show on your record. That's in deference to your driving record, which looks excellent. The officer exercised her discretion in your favor and gave you a citation for something that doesn't appear on your record.
Yes, she did. The issue was, it's just a financial hardship situation for me at the moment. That's the main concern.
Fine is $175. I can give you 30 days to pay.
Okay.
In this final case for today's video, the situation takes a different turn, as Noor Al-Shami comes before the court after being cited for speeding on her way to work, taking responsibility from the start and asking for leniency.
Ms. Al-Shami, your ticket is 26 RO 00554.
Yes, sir.
Ticket is a speeding ticket that was issued on January 29th about 2:40 in the afternoon. You were cited. Ticket was issued for 30 and 25. You can admit or deny responsibility, or you can admit responsibility with an explanation. How do you wish to proceed?
I would like to admit with an explanation.
And what is the explanation, please?
So, good afternoon, Your Honor. I want to start by saying that I do take full responsibility and understand that I should have definitely been more careful and should have paid closer attention. I was on my way to work. Before starting my shift, I'm a physician and work at Corewell. So before starting my shift, I was running behind schedule. My fault, though, should not have been speeding at all. So I have maintained a very clean driving record and would really, really appreciate the opportunity from you, if possible, to keep it that way. And I just honestly wanted to respectfully ask you and ask the court if you would consider maybe reducing the charge to a non-moving violation just to prevent points on my record. And that's it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there anything you want to add to this, officer?
No, in looking at it, she's 22 over the limit coming right into downtown, which is pretty heavy, especially in daylight hours. I understand what she's seeking, and I guess given that I already cut her a substantial break, knocking her from 3 points to 1, I'm trying to decide if I'm willing to make a motion to go this further, because this was
Actually, you brought it from 4 points to 1.
that's pretty big.
The other thing is that because you reduced it from 4, the Secretary of State is going to give her the opportunity to take an online traffic safety class to stop the points from going on. And that's a once in a lifetime shot.
I think let's go that route. Then it'll put a little bit more on her and she'll still get the same outcome that she's looking for.
You don't have to do anything to initiate the process. It's done automatically.
Okay.
For people who have quote unquote good driving records. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to take this online traffic safety class.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
When you successfully complete it, points don't go on the record. It doesn't take the points off. It stops them from ever going on.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
The time limit is not strenuous. I want to say it's like 60 days or something from when they send you the letter.
Okay.
So that will work for you. The fine on the speeding ticket was, because the officer brought it down as low as he did, is $130. You can pay that online or by mail or at the courthouse counter if you prefer.
Okay.
And then the next letter you get from the Secretary of State is going to be good news.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You.
Thank you, Officer Chair. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good luck to you.
Thanks for watching. Across these hearings, each case reached its own outcome, and some of them stand out more than others, depending on how you see it. If one of these decisions felt more reasonable or more surprising than the rest, that's usually where the conversation starts. And if you're interested in more real courtroom moments like these, you already know what to do.